My name's Abigail, and you're listening to Absolutely Me. Oh my gosh, you guys, welcome to another episode of Absolutely Me. I am so stoked to have you guys here. I feel like it's been such a long time since I've recorded a solo episode. I don't even keep track anymore, like what episode I'm on. I have no idea. I feel like it's been a long time since I've just like sat down and recorded by myself. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been very much so procrastinating it. And it's Thursday night, and the episode's gonna come out tomorrow. If you listen to this the day it comes out, I literally recorded it last night. And I've just been struggling, like, to think of, like, what to talk about. And I just feel like when I do episodes on my own, I don't know if anybody's even listening or, like, cares about the things that I'm saying when I'm just by myself. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm just totally ranting, and I don't know if anybody even cares about my solo episodes, or if you guys are just here for the interviews. So, I don't know, maybe shoot me your thoughts, DM me or text me, or, you know, if you have my contact, let me know what you think, because I have no idea. But some exciting news, I got a new microphone and some new equipment. I'm using it right now, so I don't know if it's making any sort of difference. I'll have to listen back to this, but that was exciting. I posted my old stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and I had a few of you text me and DM me and were like, wait, are you stopping the podcast? And I was very grateful for the support and everything, but don't worry, I'm here to stay. There was some technical stuff with my old equipment that I just could not figure out what was going wrong with it, and so I've got this new stuff. I'm really excited about it. Hopefully it sounds amazing. Yeah, I sold the old stuff to these two girls who are starting a podcast. So if you're listening to this, shout out and DM me, because I forgot what your podcast was going to be about, but let me know. I wanted this episode to just be kind of a catch up with you guys about things that I'm up to lately. And, you know, there's a lot of you that listen that I probably don't really ever talk to, or I don't talk to as often as I'd like. And there's just been a lot of things on my mind lately. I'm just imagining, like, you sitting across from me and me talking to you, like, one-on-one. I hope this is what it feels like, even though I can't really respond to you. I'm just imagining, like, you sitting across from me and just listening to me and having it in the real world, ideally you would be responding to me, but since you can't respond, you're just going to sit and listen to me talk. And surprisingly, for people who knew me growing up, I am a much less talker. I'm much more of a listener now than I used to be. And I think a lot of it, just the past few years, the things that I've been dealing with, I just have become much better at not talking, but listening and observing. And because I didn't want to get in trouble with things that I would say, or was trying to analyze the situation to say the right thing, which is not the case anymore. But I've become a much better observer and listener and subdued. And so it's weird for me to just sit here and talk for minutes, like an hour by myself, and just have nobody respond. It also feels a little bit like I'm just journaling out loud, which is fun. And I do like journaling. I think I mentioned it in past episodes. Like, it really helps me kind of gather my thoughts and get them all together and figure out what it is that I'm saying or feeling or experiencing, and kind of processing it. And it's great. And so, welcome to this episode of Improvised Therapy. You guys get to be my therapist today. So I hope you can buckle up. Just kidding. But some things that are going on in my life right now, super random, you guys. For my work, I got assigned to be the representative for my floor to do what's called CERT training. It's spelled CERT. It's an acronym for Community Emergency Response Team. And I got designated by my boss to be the representative for my floor at work in the building that I work in. And so for the past few weeks, I've been doing online training. They said it was only supposed to be 12 hours of training online. It ended up probably taking me closer to 30 hours, to be honest. It took so long, and I've been learning about community emergency response things. So I've been doing modules about, what to do in the case of an earthquake, and the CERT training is all about creating people who, like me, are trained in, basic first aid, basic search and rescue, fire suppression, what to do in the case of, an active shooter, what to do in a terrorism situation, all these different scenarios. And so for the past few weeks, I've been doing the online trainings, and then today and tomorrow, I'm doing in-person trainings. So all day today at work, I was doing hands-on in-person training, and we were wearing these reflective vests and these hard hats and goggles and gloves all day today, doing these trainings on learning how to put a tourniquet on and how to do search and rescue. And tomorrow we're doing a bunch of stuff. We're gonna be able to practice putting a fire out and using a fire extinguisher, and learning about how to do more first aid stuff, so doing splints, and it's been crazy, and it's been making me have all these dreams about the end of the world and about natural disasters and things that could potentially go wrong. And to be honest, you guys, it's making me really nervous for the end of the world. I not even just the end of the world, but for a natural disaster, or just something that happens that they need, that first responders, before the first responders can get to, then I'm trained to be somebody who can assist before the first responders can get there. If there's an earthquake while I'm at work, then me and the other trainees are certified in what to do in a disaster situation, and we take care of things before the emergency responders get there. So it's been pretty crazy, and I keep, like I said, having dreams about different situations. The other day I had a dream I was in a mass shooting. I had a dream about a giant flood happening. I've been having earthquake dreams, all this stuff, and it's been really weird and strange and scary a little bit. But it's nice to know that, I'm going to be prepared. I've been taking all these notes, and I have all these plans in my head, friends and family, watch out. My dad is trained in CERT as well. And so we were talking, but I'm, planning on getting a bunch of people together and doing, 72-hour kit parties, and, having people, make 72-hour kits, and, giving training to people, and doing active shooter drills at work, which is what they want us to be doing. And once this in-person training is done, over the next months, we're going to be doing trainings every month, and doing getting certified in CPR, getting trained in, I don't know, a bunch of other stuff. So if you have any questions about emergency preparedness, don't ask me, but you can ask me, because I'm going to be certified as of tomorrow. I passed my test. I got 97% on my test, so I know my stuff. I've been taking hundreds of pages of notes. So that's been really fun. Another big development in my life lately is, and for anybody that knows me, this is going to be shocking, but I've been on a Dr. Pepper fast, and this is the longest I've gone without Dr. Pepper, maybe ever in my lifetime. And it's only been 4.5 weeks. maybe 5 at this point. And this is the longest I've gone without Dr. Pepper. It's really, really sad that I'm that addicted to it. And I literally think about Dr. Pepper all day, every day. Like, I'm literally addicted to it. I think it was to my family the other day, I was like, yeah, it's like I'm addicted to it. And they were like, it's not like you're addicted, Abby. You are addicted. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. So I've been on a fast. I am going to break my Dr. Pepper fast over Labor Day, as my goal was to get to Labor Day. And it's in 1 week. Over Labor Day weekend, when my family goes camping, is when I can drink Dr. Pepper again. And the amount of money that I am spending to fill my fridge with other drinks so that I'm not tempted to go and get a Dr. Pepper is outrageous. I just went and counted, and I have like, I think it was 6 different kinds of drinks in my fridge as we speak. Like 6 different kinds of drinks that I can drink that's not Dr. Pepper, and I'm just drinking like copious amounts of other drinks so that I don't get Dr. Pepper. Because I'm such a Dr. Pepper girly. I'm such a drink girly. I love to just have a drink in front of me and be able to have it and like drink it. So I've been spending so much money. I've been spending so much money at Starbucks just getting chai lattes. And I'm spending like $6 a day on these lattes, and I like can't stop. But I'm like, if I don't get this, then I'm going to get Dr. Pepper. So it's a vicious cycle. But I am proud of myself because I'm really struggling with it. Like, there's been some days where I've honestly been like, I need to drink a Dr. Pepper or I'm going to lose my mind. And like, it's kind of like my emotional support drink is Dr. Pepper. So I'm having to find other ways to cope, which has been interesting to say the least. Can you hear the ice? I have one of the drinks with me right now. I can tell you what they are. Like I said, I'm just talking to you guys today. But I've got, what I'm currently drinking is a strawberry vanilla Olipop, which Olipops have become one of my favorites recently. I have some poppies in my fridge as well, which are similar to Olipops. I have a couple different kinds of Olipops. I have a couple different kinds of poppies. I've got blood orange San Pellegrino. I've got oat milk, so I can make chai lattes at home, which I'm not doing. I've got this really delicious pineapple juice from Trader Joe's, and get this too, I'm allergic to pineapples, and so when I drink too much of this pineapple juice, it makes me itchy, and it like makes my tongue all swollen. And I don't know if anybody ever gets this, but like my holes where I got my wisdom teeth out, like the place I got my wisdom teeth out, like they get really tender and hurt. So and I have lemonade from Trader Joe's, and I have a limeade, in my fridge from Trader Joe's right now. And I'm just constantly drinking these other drinks. I'm like hauling them with me everywhere. I'm going to Harmon's like every day to get myself a little drink that's not a Dr. Pepper. It's just an issue. So send me your prayers. I watched Ozark again recently. I just finished it, and I don't know if any of you have seen Ozark. The last season came out last year, and it's the craziest and most awful end to a show I've ever seen. And I've never seen Game of Thrones. I know everybody's so annoyed by Game of Thrones. I've never seen it, but Ozark, the ending of Ozark is just so sad. And I won't spoil it because it's only been out for a year, but oh my gosh, it's just the worst ending ever, and I just get so mad. And I just love those shows like that, though. I've realized, like, I love random little drug dramas. I love Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's in, like, my top 4 favorite shows of all time. I've loved Ozark. I loved Ozark. I watched Narcos and I watched Narcos Mexico. Like, I love all these random drug shows. I don't know what it is, but I, like, keep rewatching them because I like them. I watch Better Call Saul, obviously, Breaking Bad. And so that's been, like, my obsession lately. I've just been, like, cycling back through all these drug shows. Maybe that's making me partially concerned about the end of the world, too. So I'm, like, watching all these cartel shows. I don't know. Another thing that's going really, really good for me right now is my relationship with my boyfriend. And shout out to my boyfriend. If you're listening to this, sorry. I'm going to embarrass you a little bit. But things are just going so good. And we're coming up on our 1 year of going on our first date. It'll be in about a month. It's been like 11 months since we went on our first date. And it's so crazy to me that it's been a year, and, like, it feels like I've known him for so long, but also, like, I haven't known him for very long. Like, the year has just flown by, and we're honestly just, like, best friends, and it's crazy to me. I was thinking about this on the drive home from work today. Like, thinking about my abusive relationship and thinking about how I legitimately thought when I was in that relationship that is as good as it was ever going to get for me. And that love was supposed to be terrible and awful and chaotic and messy. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I was brave enough to get myself out of this situation, because the love that I'm experiencing now is just on a completely new level. Like, it's hard to put into words. And just the fact that it's so much better than I ever imagined it would be and convinced myself it would be, it's just amazing. And it's going to make me emotional because I love him so much. And it just feels like every time we hang out, every time we're, like, together, it just gets better and better. And it's been a year together, and it's just getting better and better and better. And I keep having people talk to me and ask me about it and ask me how things are going. And so I just wanted to tell everybody, things are great. I'm so in love. Like, he's like my best friend. He helps me with so much. He's so kind to me. He just treats me so great, and we just have the best relationship. And yeah, so I just wanted to brag about that for a little bit, because I've been feeling very, very happy. Very, very happy with that lately. And there's some things that I want to talk about that I wrote down on my little notes before I started this episode, in my little outline. Just realizing, like, a lot of the thoughts that were coming to my head about things that have been going on, or things that I feel like I've been struggling with lately. And I just wanted to kind of commiserate with you for a minute. I don't want to give solutions. I don't want you to give me solutions. I just want to commiserate, and I just want to talk about the things that are shitty and just get them out there and share them with you. And hopefully some of these things you can relate to. And don't worry, there's not like a million of them, but it's not going to be a lot. But there's just some that have just been on my mind, and I just kind of wanted to put out there and maybe see if any of you are also experiencing these things, and we can kind of commiserate together, and we can hold a space right now where, I'm sorry I'm getting into all this therapy speak. That's super annoying of me. But just the space to connect with each other on things that I'm struggling with. And I'm generally a very positive person, and I still am positive about these things. And there are a lot of things that are going right in my life, like many, many, many things. I just feel like I've been hard on myself lately. It's been kind of a hard week, to be honest. It's the 1 year anniversary this week on Tuesday. It was on the 22nd of the anniversary of my cousin passing away. And his name is Mason, and he was a year younger than I am in school and in life. And we went to the same junior high and high school, and him and me and my brother were in the same gym class when I was in 9th grade, and they were in 8th grade. My brother and Mason were the same grade in school, and people always thought that it was crazy that we were related, the three of us. And I just love that. Like, it was so fun being able to go to school with him and see him and, like, have those memories of being close to him in high school and in junior high. And so it's just been kind of a hard week. Tuesday was really hard, and it's starting to sink in for me that he's really not around anymore, and he's not going to be around in the future, and that's really, really hard for me to, like, wrap my brain around. You know, he's somebody that has literally been in my life my entire life. He's been around literally my entire life, and it just feels like it just ended, and I've expected it to return back and feel more, like, cohesive, and, like, when we're together as a family, like, I expect it to feel complete, but it's not, and we have that hole there. And I've been thinking a lot about Mason this week, and I had a cousin on my other side of my family pass away this last week. His name is Sheldon, and it just, grief, I've never had to really deal with this much grief before the last 2 years. And grief is just so bittersweet, and it feels so great to feel the love that I felt for these people in my life, and it just has been hard. And I miss my cousins, and it's hard to think about them and wish that they were here with me and with my family and with their families and living life, and, like, thinking about the things that they're going to miss out on in the future. And so that's just, I've been thinking about that a lot this week. I have also the last week and the week before, since I work for the state of Utah, and we get what are called surge days when the air quality is bad in Utah. They don't want us to, like, contribute to the air pollution or whatever, so they want us to work from home. And 2 weeks in a row, we had surge days. So I was home for 2 weeks in a row, and I was, like, doing my work, like, I was, you know, staying on top of stuff. But when you're working from home and all your coworkers are working from home, like, there's only so much that you can do when there's not, you know, everybody, like, was kind of slow because of the surge days. And I was just realizing when I was home, I was like, man, I am so boring. Like, even if, like, I'm sitting here like, oh, what could I do? I, like, did my laundry. I, like, cleaned up my room, whatever. Like, and what else can I do? And it made me realize that I feel like I'm so boring because I could not come up with other hobbies to do or other things that I'm, like, interested in doing. I couldn't come up with anything. So I bought a color by number or a paint by number thing on Amazon that came. And I'm probably going to start it tonight because I haven't started it yet because it came after the surge days. And I've been doing my cert training and stuff all week. So I've been busy. But I just feel like I need some more hobbies. And I don't know what to do. And I feel like I'm so boring. Even though I know I'm not really boring. But, like, I just feel like I'm such a boring person. I, like, have no hobbies. And that's not explicitly true. Like, obviously I'm doing this and there's other things, but I, like, started a book club with some friends so that I would have a reason to, like, pick up another hobby and, like, read. I miss playing kickball because it was, like, something fun to do with people, and like it got me out of my house and I could, be a little active and it felt like a fun little hobby. I need more things like that. I just feel like I'm so boring. And you guys might disagree, and if you do, that's very nice of you. But if you do have ideas for me to not be so boring and hobbies that you think I should pick up and start, please let me know. I don't know that I would get into crocheting. I'll just say that right now. I'm way too distracted by like a lot of other things, like this paint by numbers thing. We're going to see if I ever even finish it, but I have it. I'm really into organizing. I've organized every single thing in my room like 4 times this year and cleaned everything out. I like went through my closet a few weeks ago and literally got rid of 6 bags of clothes for my closet and donated 6 bags of clothes to the DI. And I still have a bunch of clothes in there in my closet. So I don't know. I need some more hobbies, you guys. I have my my court date for my divorce is on October 26th. So it's coming up in like almost exactly 2 months, which is crazy. And it feels like I've been on this journey trying to get divorced for like a year and a half. And I'm over it. So I'm just ready for it to be done, honestly. And I've been really getting nervous about standing in person with the person who abused me. I haven't seen them in over a year and a half. And it just feels strange. So in my head, he's just like a fake person. And it's going to be weird to like confront him again and confront the things that he did to me and the things that happened to me. It's just going to be a weird feeling. I've been a little anxious about it. I'm not going to lie. And I don't even know why I'm telling you guys all these things. I'm really just like pouring my heart out here. I hope you guys know. But it's just going to be an interesting thing to see what happens and how that all pans out. I don't really know how to feel about it. Like, I'm happy that it's going to be done, and I just wish it was already done. And luckily I don't really have to think about it a lot, that it just kind of is in the back of my mind most of the time, and something I don't really have to deal with at the forefront all the time. So it's gonna be good to just get that off the back burner. Like, I feel like it's been on the back burner for such a long time. Like, I just want to get it off the stove, So that's gonna be great. Something else I realized when I was working from home is that I really struggle in the mornings. Like, getting out of bed is really the worst and the hardest part of my day. It is so hard every morning. It's so hard to get out of bed. And it feels like I'm constantly I'm like setting all these goals at night for things I'm going to like wake up and do the next morning. And then I wake up and I totally just disappoint myself. Like, I set all these goals for myself for things I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. In the morning, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to make myself this good breakfast, I'm going to like go to the gym, I'm going to do all these things, I'm going to write in my plan or whatever it is. And then I wake up and I literally can't get out of bed, and nothing that I set my mind to the night before happens in the morning. And I'm just constantly letting myself down, and like breaking this trust I have with myself. And I feel like I just need to get a better morning routine. My boyfriend is so good at this, and he is so conscious of making sure he's like getting up and having the best start ever to his day. He's like incredible at it, and he's such a good example to me. And it makes me like really want to push myself to do the same thing. And it's just hard. It's just hard. And I hate waking up in the mornings. I wish I could feel like I got a full night's sleep the night before. I never do. And I'm just excited for the weekend always, so I can just not set an alarm. I can just wake up whenever I want to. That's something I've been struggling. The next thing that kind of goes along with the morning routine is like self-care. I feel like everybody's always saying like, oh, do self-care, like do this, do that, do this, and you're struggling, like take care of yourself, do self-care, it'll help with so many things. And I feel like I'm doing self-care things. I'm doing the things they're telling me to do. I go to therapy. Lately I've been taking like super long, just therapeutic showers. I take everything showers all the time. And that feels great. And like I get massages every month. I'm like starting to get facials. I'm doing all these things and it still feels like I'm not doing self-care. And I'm just kind of doubting myself. Even though I know I'm doing these things to like invest in myself, I think that's really the definition of self-care. It's just like being able to invest in yourself, doing things like invest in you and kind of come home to you and take care of you. I think I have to remind myself a lot that I am doing those things. And things like this, doing the podcast, that it really fuels my insides and it really makes me feel good and it makes me feel like I'm having a therapy session, which is great for me. I'm just getting all these things off of my mind and doing this brain dump, which is what I'm doing right now, onto you guys. And I don't know, self-care just feels like not a real thing to me, I guess, is my issue. I don't know. Is there more stuff I can do, you guys, for self-care? Like, I don't know. Let me know. Something else I've been struggling with is lately I've been really, really struggling with my body image and like being confident in how I look and in myself. And it's something everybody struggles with off and on. So, you know, we ebb and flow with our confidence and how we're feeling about ourselves. And there's times, like there's days where I'm like, man, I'm so hot. Like I look so good. Like I'm amazing. Like I'm a baddie, like whatever. And then there's other days where I like look at myself in the mirror and I just have the worst thoughts in my head about myself. And I just feel so uncomfortable and like so on edge and feel like everybody's like staring at me and being like, oh my gosh, like why does she look like that? Like she's so ugly, she's so fat, yada yada, whatever it is. And I just feel so self-conscious about that. And I don't like that about myself. Well, I like myself. I don't like that I put myself down. And I don't like that I look at myself and I just see negativity sometimes. There's a mantra or an affirmation that I wrote on my affirmation board a while ago that I have been telling myself a lot lately, or trying to remind myself to tell myself when I'm having these like negative self-talk. And it says that I will not waste my life by hating the only body I've ever had and will ever have. And I just have to remind myself, like, don't waste your life. Like, don't do things because you're feeling self-conscious or like you don't feel like you look perfect. And it's not just like my body, but just like a lot of things lately for no reason I'm so self-conscious of. Like lately I've been so self-conscious of my hands. I feel like they look so weird and I don't know what that is. Like I've just been feeling so self-conscious about my hands. I'm like so self-conscious of my hair and feel like I need to change it. I've been like so self-conscious about my clothes and just looking at myself and thinking like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that are wrong with me. Like your teeth aren't white, your nose isn't straight, like your eyebrows are not good, like your makeup looks terrible, you have like your belly is showing in that outfit, like what are you doing, like your calves are so fat, or like whatever, you know, all these thoughts that are just running in my head when I look at myself. And like I hate that, and I just wish I could make that stop. And the affirmations help, but also like I don't know how to like look at myself and not have those thoughts sometimes. And it's not like an overwhelming thought. It's just the last little bit. It's like, and by the last little bit, I mean like the past 2 weeks. It's just been something on my mind a little more. And that ebbs and flows. Like sometimes it's here like it is now and I feel it like really intensely, and sometimes I don't even think about it. It just depends. And so it's not like an overwhelming like all the time thought. It's just what's on my mind right now. So I'm sharing it with you guys. I feel like I have been really struggling with comparing myself to people on social media lately. And not even people that I know, but just like scrolling through reels or scrolling through Facebook or whatever it is, seeing people I don't even know, them telling me about like their gym routine or their morning routine or their nighttime routine or how they, like what their skincare routine is, like all, you know, all these things that is so normal for people to just post, or like spend a day in the life with me and they're like crazy productive all day or have like the best day ever. And I think a lot of these thoughts about me like needing to get more hobbies and like a night routine and like doing better self-care and like wanting different clothes or feeling bad about myself, or because I'm like constantly scrolling through social media and like getting these messages at me that are saying like, you need to change, like your life needs to be like this, you need to be better, you need to do this, whatever it is. And I'm constantly feel like I'm comparing myself to what I see on social media. And it was like a realization I had recently that this is what's happening. Because I would always hear like, don't compare yourself, like social media is like, you don't compare yourself to social media. And I was like, I'm not comparing myself at all to people that I know. Like I'm not comparing myself to them really at all. And like I'm fine. My life is totally fine. Like I don't compare myself at all. And recently I realized a lot of these negative self-talk things that I'm having at myself are because I'm being fed this version on Instagram that's so curated and looks so perfect, when in reality it's not that way. It's like, it seems like the perfect life and like the perfect hobby or the perfect gym routine or like the perfect nighttime routine, like that these people have it all together, and like their lives are so much better than mine because they are so efficient. And I get really hard on myself that I'm not doing these things. And that's why I realized that I was comparing myself to people I saw on social media. That it was just the endlessly being fed a narrative that to have a successful life or a good life like looks this one specific way, and that's how you're like going to be happy and successful. It takes a toll on you. It really does. And I think it takes a toll on a lot of people my age and just everybody that looks on social media. Like it's overwhelming to think about, and the amount of content that you're just constantly getting. Like you're constantly getting content of people that seem to have their life together when they really don't. And sorry, I think my voice is going away a little bit from all my trainings today, but it just is hard. I just have to be better at reminding myself that, you know, the things that I'm seeing on social media are not real, and that like my whole purpose here is not to just be 100% efficient all the time and like get as much done as possible, because that's not the goal. Like, to me, the goal of being here is not to get as much done as possible. It's not to accomplish the most. It's not to do the most. It is to have the most experiences and have the most life happen to you. That's what I feel like we're supposed to be here for. I also have an all or nothing attitude. And so I feel like if I'm not doing everything like perfectly, then I just can't do it. And that's super frustrating, because I wish I was just able to tell myself like, Abby, that something is better than nothing. Like you don't have to do it completely perfectly for it to count or for it to be good. So these are just some thoughts that have been going through my mind. You guys, you're just my makeshift therapy today. And I'm so excited for you to hear this episode. I'm so grateful for you guys. You have no idea. I love you all so much. Just thank you for all the support you give me. Like, people talk to me when they see me in person and just tell me that they love the podcast. People text me about it and DM me about it and tell me in person. I just am so grateful for you guys and for the support that you've shown me with this. And it's been so much fun. And I'm so excited to keep interviewing people and keep getting to know people. And if there's things you guys want me to talk about, please let me know. I have some ideas coming up in the future. I'll keep on the down low for right now, but I'm super excited for you guys to hear this. And I'm just so grateful for you guys, and I hope you have the most amazing Friday and the most amazing weekend. I love you so much. Bye. Thanks for listening to another episode of Absolutely Me. Thank you to everyone who helped make this possible. Shout out to Tanner Johnson for the amazing intro. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, tell all your friends. And we'll be back next Friday with another episode. Love you. Bye.